Well, for more on overseas markets, we're joined now by Ashraf. He's Chief Executive Officer of Intermarket Strategy, and he joins us from London. Ashraf, good to see you. Happy New Year, and thank you for sharing some time with us this morning. Let's begin with Theresa May. She's made some comments that are being interpreted, as I just told viewers, as being on the hard Brexit side of the equation. That has the pound in decline again. Has she said anything that we have not heard before from Theresa May?
Yeah, it's a good question. Happy New Year, Paul. This is a reminder of what's going on the last around 2 or 3 months ago, where we seem to have reminders every other Sunday that from one politician or another, that yes, Brexit is happening and it's going to be hard. And then 2 Sundays later, it is happening, it's not going to be that hard, so on and so forth. And what she said basically in the latest statements, where she seems to be giving a priority to immigration over the single market. So we said she's going to tighten the borders, even if that means the loss of access to the single market. That led to the pound coming down because there were some hopes that there was going to be a deal, even as going to be a Brexit out of the European Union. There is still going to be a priority to retain access to the market. So my way coming to the studio, I sent an email to the producers of the show. I said there is a strike in the London Tube, so I'm stuck in traffic. I won't make it. And then I sent another email, said actually I will make it. No, I won't make it. I will make it. And the story where the UK access to the EU seems to have been the same story. It's going to be hard. It's going to be soft. I think at the end of the day, probably it's what really matters is the access of banks to the EU, the passporting rights, and I think probably the British pound has some more declines to go.
Okay, I was going to ask you what your outlook on the pound is. How much more of a decline do you think is in store for the UK pound?
Well, look, I mean, if you take it against the U.S. dollar or against the Canadian, both the Canadian and the U.S. dollar, so the U.S. dollar is propped by expectations of a rate hike. Maybe we could get 2 rate hikes. In Canada, there's more and more expectations that, look, the Canada seems to be increasingly okay despite the fallout from oil, which is now pushing up. So I think that Look, I think probably once the rate hikes accelerate and once the hawkishness from the Fed accelerate, I think we could see 118, 117 sterling dollar, and I think we could probably see further declines in sterling CAD. We're very bullish in this currency still, which seems to be actually, which was the strongest currency in 2016, stronger than the US dollar, stronger than the oil, the currencies. And just one last word about the Canadian is that as the sentiment improves in the US and as expectations of an improving economy and the recovery in the US take hold, I think that will also help the Canadian economy. So that remains the story for now.
So Ashraf, Bruce Campbell here. So if we see that outlook for the Canadian dollar, then as Canadians, when would you think the timing would be right for possibly us to invest in the UK again, given that we probably want to try to, catch the bottom, if that's possible?
Well, it depends what you mean by invest in the UK, because, the FTSE 100, which seems to be the most, it reminds me of the Nikkei and the dollar yen, which is one of the best examples of an inversely related relation, between the falling pound and the FTSE, which is pushing higher because of the exporting aspect, and because of the other thing is because of the simultaneous rise in oil. So if you call that investing in the pound, investing in the FTSE 100 rather than the 250, that seems to be a good bet. It probably some real estate sectors, the equivalent of REITs, also that is not doing badly either. I think probably rather than the retailers, maybe the home builders. The home builders probably, it would be nice to pick up some ground there. So that is going to be quite interesting to see there. And just one thing, you keep on asking me about the pound because I am here, and I keep on talking to you about the Canadian, even though you're there. There's one thing about the Canadian dollar. Lots of people would say the same story, that the Bank of Canada would not be happy with the accelerating rise in the Canadian dollar. And what is important to know that there's a lot of exporters, a lot of the Canadian companies are increasingly hedged because of their plants overseas. So they are actually hedged against an excessive rise or rapid rise in the loonie. So a rise in the loonie may not, or a further strength in the loonie may not prevent the Central Bank of Canada from being neutral to hawkish.
Thank you very much, Ashraf Lady. He's Chief Executive Officer of Intermarket Strategy, joined us from London despite a tube strike.